Open, call, check, bet, raise. I guess I'll check raise. I mean, this hand should not play out the way it's playing. It is what it is. Just hope he doesn't have a set, that he has an overpair instead. What is this? I'm streaming non-party poker games? Oh my god. Kind of nice. Kind of a nice change of pace. I won't lie. What's up, everybody? How are you? Sorry, I see people have said stuff in the chat. I'm just kind of getting everything organized still. I woke up a little late this morning. A little bit all over the place. Not in a bad way though. Like I'm feeling pretty good actually. Yeah, just didn't get into the routine that I wanted to be getting into. I was irresponsible and I stayed up late last night screwing around on TikTok on my phone. Silly bastard. DD the silly Billy, you know? I am a free agent for those of you guys who don't know. Today is my first day as a non-party poker pro. I am no longer a sponsored streamer. I'm no longer a sponsored poker player. I am just a poker player and a poker streamer. Okay, so what's going on? I am a free agent. I am no longer part of Party Poker Team Online. I'm not gonna go too heavily into details, just as like professional courtesy, but just things weren't working out and we decided to part ways. So it is what it is, you know. It's a little sad, but at the same time, there's a silver lining to it, right? The biggest one being I can make content wherever I please. So if I want to stream Natural 8, I can do that. If I want to stream Pokerstars, I want to do that. If I want to keep streaming Party Poker, I can do that. So there's no restrictions. So that's nice. There were some like obligatory things, like extra promotional things that I wasn't a fan of doing that perhaps I should have done more of, but I was very reluctant about it because, you know, in the end, I just want to stream, right? I'm all fine with promoting products, but I just want to stream, you know? I just want to play poker and I just want to stream. So that was a little bit annoying too. There were just some things, like some disagreements we had on both sides that we couldn't really come to a resolution to, and here I am. I'm cool with it, you know? I was bummed out, but at the same time, like, most jobs don't last forever, most relationships don't last forever. Life goes on, that kind of thing, right? In the end, what's most important is poker. And this is, if anything, like kind of like a wake-up call to remind myself that it's poker. It's poker, it's poker, it's poker, it's poker, it's poker. And I need to even focus even more on poker than I have been. So it's good. It's all good. And now we'll move on. Still gonna play party poker games. I'm just gonna play a lot less party poker games. Probably put more emphasis on Natural 8 and America's Cardroom because they're the softest out of like the 4 major sites. I gotta say, it's very weird not having to worry about what site I stream. What happened to your partnership with Party Poker? Yeah, we just couldn't come to an agreement on a couple of things. It wasn't like anything harsh or just things aren't working out. We decided to call it a day on our working relationship, on our professional relationship, which is fine. Not a huge deal, right? Just the way it is. I'm really grateful for, like, I know this sounds very diplomatic, but it's honest. Like, I am actually like very, very grateful for the time that I did get to work with Party Poker. Yeah, I'm really grateful for the time that I had at Party Poker. I'm really grateful for like getting to work with Jamie at a like much closer capacity than I had ever done before. And it made me like learn a lot of things about him that I didn't know. I think Jamie is like a really, really underrated person within the space. Despite his success, he's a very compassionate person and really works hard for the people who work hard for him back. I have a lot of respect for that. Big ups to Jamie. There's a lot of really cool people that I worked with. He works really, really hard behind the scenes, a lot harder than people realize. And he really works hard for the people who work under him and tries to advocate for them as much as he possibly can if he understands the type of work that you're putting in. And he's very, very compassionate and very empathetic and deserves a lot more credit than he gets, both like internally within Party Poker, I think, and then also just within the Twitch poker space. He has a lot on his plate and he works really hard to try and like manage it reasonably. And I really hope that like there's some opportunities in the future for me to work with him again because he's very, very intelligent. He's very much a team player. We couldn't come to an agreement to like from just like a grander scale within Party Poker. I'm not salty. I'm not angry. There's no like bitterness between us. It's just, you know, it is what it is. With some places it works out really well and some places it doesn't, right? And who knows, like maybe in like a year or 2 years time, we revisit that relationship. We give it another shot, right? You really never know. I remember Jamie had huge view numbers. Now it's way less. Well, it's just because he streams less consistently now, right? Like I said, he does a lot of work behind the scenes, and that unfortunately inhibits his ability to stream on a more consistent or even heavily scheduled basis, right? He can't be doing 40 hours a week of streaming anymore because he's managing all of Party Poker Team Online, and he's got some other stuff that he's working on that I'll just talk about. So it's understandable. If you cut your stream hours from, 50 or 40 or 50 hours a week down to 20 to 30 hours a week, your numbers are going to be affected in that regard, right? Obviously. The good old half. What does DD do here with top pair, top kicker, and a flush blocker? Blocking ace jack suited, king jack suited, jack 10 suited, queen jack suited. He has to call when you give him a third pot bet. Lovely. Open, call, check, bet, raise. I guess I'll check raise. I mean, this hand should not play out the way it's playing. It is what it is. Just hope he doesn't have a set, that he has an overpair instead. Wow, 7-9 off. Okay, that was a punt. Major punt. All right, I'm done my coffee. Now let's drink my Red Bull. Delicious. I gotta say, chat, it is, if there's a positive to take out of no longer working at Party Poker, that positive is I can stream whatever game I like. That's quite nice. That's really, really good. Because there were a lot of times where like I would stream, maybe I'll have one of those days where you just happen to brick everything on Party Poker, right? It happens. You sometimes brick everything on any given site, right? And then I'd have to cut the stream off after 2 hours. Whereas now it's like, okay, I'm just gonna, if I cut the stream off early, it's just because I'm bricking or I'm in a bad mood or whatever, Give me the 10. 10-9, 2. Nice. So I opened, right? Yes. Never folding here, boys. Of course he does. Yikes. What did Yikes play? Please let me cooler him. These guys are reg too. That's the really funny part about it. Boom! Punished. Hey, brother, we have to agree in a selfish way. Can't wait to watch you play on all the sites. LFG. Thanks, buddy. That was probably like the biggest issue I had working with Party Poker was just that curfew. I tried to advocate really hard to help them like understand that it's actually like a net benefit for everybody to allow Party Poker Team Online to stream non-Party Poker games. Obviously like that's a hard thing to kind of grasp when you're paying streamers to promote their product, right? I understand why they were so hard on that rule, but I just disagree with it. That's all. So it's a relief now, like from my streams benefit, that I can stream whichever game I please, because there's no denying that view count sometimes is correlated to the sites that you're streaming. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Just the reality of the game. This is close, but I feel comfortable with calling sixes here. It's close though. Oh, just gotta fade a few outs. No dice. Oh, wait, did we win? What happened? Hold on. We didn't win, did we? Oh, it was a full house. Oh, I didn't even notice. That's how much I'm paying attention today, guys. I didn't even notice getting a full house. Just saw the flush. How would Barney benefit from you playing on other sites? It's not about me playing on other sites. It's about me streaming other sites. The reason why that would benefit is because generally speaking, when we look at Twitch poker from like a very mainstream perspective, majority of the Twitch poker community watches streamers from a very surface level, once again, perspective. So if they see Party Poker and they see another streamer who's bigger streaming Pokerstars, they're going to pick the Pokerstars streamer every single time because they like the software better, because it's got a better reputation, because it's more well known, it has a broader outreach. That becomes a really big uphill battle for a guy like myself who might only be able to stream Party Poker, which has a lot less outreach, which is a lot less well known, which has software issues that they're working really hard to catch up on, but they are still behind the ball on. That has a negative effect on my own personal growth as a streamer. In turn, that uphill battle ends up being a net negative for Party Poker because, essentially they're paying for a certain level of hours watched. And if I'm not reaching those hours watched, then it becomes, I become a less valuable asset for them. And they in turn don't receive as big of an ROI. But I can build a community and then use that influence, that positive community influence, to convince my community that Party Poker is the product worth investing in, regardless of the fact that I'm not going to be 100% streaming Party Poker 100% of the time. But they just didn't agree with that. If they had, maybe I would have stayed on longer. If DD grows the following by streaming his biggest runs, he can use that audience to further promote Party Poker. It's somewhat restricting to only be able to show deep runs on Party Poker. Exactly. You said it way better than I did. Free agent, no longer a PP whore. Don't go that far, my man. I wasn't whoring anything. The big thing about the Party Poker sponsorship was like, I took it because I really believed in what they were trying to do, which comes at an issue because like moving forward, I know I could get like a sponsorship from, let's say, like America's Cardroom, but I don't particularly like their product. I think they've made a lot of progress as far as improving their reputation compared to what it once was. I still am not a huge fan of the way that they conduct business. So like I'm not going to take a sponsorship from them. I'll probably not take a sponsorship ever from Stars, not that they would ever offer me one because I'm not big enough, based off of their history and the way that they treated regs in the past. GG, I'm not really sure. I don't know much about them. I'd have to take a look, but I'm not really too worried about picking up sponsors in the foreseeable future, maybe like 4 or 5 months down the line or something. And if I do take sponsors, they probably won't be poker related most likely, but we'll have to see. I'm not entirely sure. My future is uncertain. We'll have to see like if my stream experiences any level of growth moving forward, see how I feel week to week and month to month. Please no ACR. Yeah. If I was to take an ACR sponsorship, I think that would just be like, you'd be allowed to call me a sellout. I'd for sure be selling out. I'm not saying that people who take ACR sponsorships are sellouts. It's just a lot of what ACR does goes against the grain of like what I believe to be the right thing to do. And everybody's moral code and everybody's code of ethics are going to be a lot different than the others, right? And it doesn't really mean that theirs are bad or mine are better, but mine are what they are. And so if I was to take something like an ACR sponsorship, that'd mean I'm selling out pretty hard based off of what you know to be my own like ethical and moral value. And I think we're 20 away from the money here. So we got a dead big blind, looks like. It's weird when this guy, it looks like he's in the pot. Kind of trips you out if you're not paying attention. Pretty deep, eh? How often do I want to check this? Not too often. We'll barrel big again. Wow. I have to think about this. Give me a second. Like he's literally only ripping a set here, right? Set of sevens or a set of threes. And I guess ace 10 are like hands that beat us. Gross. Disgusting. And I know I can find the fold there too, you know, like I know I'm capable of finding the fold there, but you give people too much credit, you know. I gotta stop giving people so much credit. Gotta remember, if it doesn't make sense, it means they have it. That's really a shame. That's a really big shame. That's like totally on me. I think I can very much find the fold there. I don't think really anybody's good enough to find a check raise bluff. I don't think you really should have too many check raise bluffs there either, right? Like versus a double barrel big bet sizing, your check raise start to become much more value heavy. So that's my fault. And I'm a little tilted about it, like I won't lie to you. We're just gonna move on. I'm actually probably gonna go see if my grind ends early enough today. Inception in the theaters, because like the movie theaters here have been open for a few weeks, but they're just showing old movies and it's $5 to get in. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to go check out a classic like Inception. I saw that movie in the theaters like 2 or 3 times when it came out. I think it'd be cool to see it again 10 years later. Okay, the check is interesting. Pot or just like another bigger size bet? Which one's better? That's the real question. Ranges are just so thin here. I mean, he's repping king jack and pocket jacks as far as hands that beat us. Like our hand's just like way too good here to ever fold. I guess he's got 2 combos that he's 4 suited, but okay. Sure, dude. Like whatever. I know my play is fine. Just sucks to run into it sometimes, you know? It was a very silly situation, wasn't it? Sucks to hear about leaving party, but it's nice that we'll be able to always see everything. Yeah, I agree, for sure. Are you planning to look for another partner or just keep at it on your own? We'll see. I'm gonna play it by ear. Obviously, like the issue as a streamer that I have while trying to pursue full-time poker is that I lose a lot of EV streaming, and the current income you make just off of Twitch does not equal the EV that you lose streaming it. In the short term, it's fine for me to stream without any sponsors attached, but in the long term, if I want to keep doing this, I'm going to need to find sponsors to make up for it. For the next 2, 3, 4 months, I'm totally fine with streaming sponsorless if I experience continued growth. As long as like I see a growth in followers and hours watched, then I'm motivated to continue streaming. Past that 4-month mark, I'm going to need to get a sponsor to keep going, and if I don't, then I'll probably have to quit or stream something else. So my future is uncertain, but like one thing that is certain is I'm going to continue playing poker for the long term because I love this game too much, and I think I have like a really bright future in poker. So we'll see. We'll see. I want to keep streaming right now. I want to keep streaming. That's the way I feel currently. I had some motivational issues about a month ago with streaming, but right now I'm really motivated to see what kind of growth I can experience without the party poker restrictions. I think it's actually going to play a pretty pivotal role. Hold please. Nice. And in experiencing more growth, and so in turn maybe that growth will actually give me a better sponsorship deal than the one that I have with party poker. Who knows? But once again, like I said, it's a little bit tough because I want to make sure that it's a product that I really enjoy and that I believe in, and like I feel like, you know, the company is above board and stuff, so that kind of narrows down what kind of companies I can represent. But you know, it's just a small hurdle as opposed to a brick wall, right? In the short term, I'll keep at it on my own. In the long term, I'll need to find some kind of sponsor. We'll see, man. We'll see. The situation that I'm in right now, no matter what, my future is really bright. Okay, we're gonna chase this for sure. That's the great thing about this whole situation. 10. Okay, there's a red card. There's a sweat. Ooh, there's an extra sweat. 10 or a red card. 10. Fuck. That's kind of the sweet thing about this whole situation. Like I said, is that I can't lose at this point. No matter what, I'm in a really, really good situation. I'm just basically at a fork in the road. My current work ethic is going to influence what part of the path I take in the future. So it's kind of a good narrative for you guys to follow along, seeing what comes of me as a content creator, and from a greater scale, what comes of me as a poker player. Because what would happen is, like, if I don't get a sponsor, let's say within a 6-month window, okay, it's unfortunate that I quit streaming. That sucks, especially because like of the community that I'm involved with. But it would be perhaps an indefinite exit. It would be a finite exit. You know, maybe I'd come back in a year's time or something. But that just means I put 1,000,000% of my focus and energy into being the best poker player that I can be, and maybe I skyrocket through the ranks and become this really insanely good poker player, you know? Or I do get a sponsorship within this window and I still focus on being a good poker player. I just won't be focusing as much as I would without the stream, and we can see my stream blow up. There's nothing to be lost here. There's some sacrifices to be made for the greater good of my future, but an overall loss or overall definitive great loss is just not going to be present. So it's kind of nice, right? When you look at it from that perspective, like my life is pretty good. During this streaming period though, I'm going to need to make sure that my poker is tight. So I'm going to need to find that balance where it's, you know, 20% content, 80% poker, because it's important to try and lock in some positive days and some positive weeks. I mean, it always has been important, but I mean, like, it's extra important now, right? Got 2 pair on the big 50. Much love, welcome to DJs, and my friend, happy to have you. Good like us. Okay, got a lot of outs to fade here. Black 10. It's black. Oh, that's a deuce, isn't it? Oh, that's not nice. So if you want to find a sponsor within 6 months, there's a big chance you stop streaming for a while. Yeah, for sure. Because I'm at a point now in my poker career where I could really make some big strides with my skill level as long as I continue to learn. I think I could be playing some really high stakes in the foreseeable future, without a doubt, actually. Quitting streaming would help quicken the pace, basically, in my learning and my development. I would love to document that journey with you guys, for sure. But there does come a point where, like, it comes at a cost to stream my poker, even now. And I was fine with that, because I was sponsored. There was some long-term EV there. There was some short-term EV there in the, you know, the rake back and the pay and all that stuff. But when all of that disappears, now I'm streaming at honestly a considerable loss. And as fun as I have, it comes at a much bigger cost. And so you really need to think about where your priorities lie. You kind of have to realize that maybe streaming is better off as just a hobby. And if that's the case, I'd rather just stream video games on my off time, right? As a means to just hang out with my community. I don't want that to be the case. That's just full disclosure. I enjoy streaming. I have a huge passion for making content. You know, there's been some weeks here and there over the last 3 or 4 months where I haven't enjoyed streaming, but overall, I really truly love content creation. I love all the opportunities that streaming has allowed me, all the connections that it's created, all the friendships that I've developed because of streaming. But there is a point where you need to just, you know, put your foot on the brake and reassess where you need to be in life, professionally, financially, emotionally. Streaming can also, like, where it can be a huge weight. It can be a burden sometimes. You know, you're constantly comparing yourselves to others. You're constantly looking at your view count and how many people you have following you and who's doing well, who's doing poor, when this guy's streaming, when that guy's streaming, so that you can stream at this time. It can get a little burdensome, you know? We're going to play it month by month. I'm going to definitely, like, take a serious look at it for like 6 months time. I want to say that we're going to be in a really good place stream wise. We'll continue streaming and we'll continue killing the Twitch streets, and things are going to be constantly brighter as each day goes by, but I can't guarantee that. So just fingers crossed. I'm going to work really hard to make sure that, like, the dream stays alive and eventually comes true. I'm going to work really hard, not only for me, but for you guys, because there's a lot of you guys that really enjoy my content, and it's been really helpful for you from a poker perspective, just like a distraction perspective. It's been inspiring for you guys. Like, I noticed that and I'm grateful for it. But in the end, I do need to be selfish sometimes, and I just need to look out for myself sometimes. So we'll see, man. Dark road often leads to light, DD. Hang on, the good times are at the corner. As I say in poker, anything's possible. God bless and stay focused. Thank you, Vishal. You're getting a gifted sub too. Fun spot. Hope he folds to make my life easy. Okay, cool. I mean, I'd be very surprised if we weren't super far ahead here. And now we might not be so far ahead anymore. What do you think of Negs versus Polk? I think it's boring AF, dude. I think it's 2 to 3 years too late. I think it's fairly uninteresting. I think the outcome is pretty much like close to guaranteed, and I have zero interest in it. I think it's all just a marketing slash high train ploy for Doug to probably push upswing poker. That's the only thing that makes sense to me as to why he would come out of retirement to do it. I don't think he gains any more clout out of it. It's an opportunity for him to make a few more bucks, I suppose, if he needs it. I don't know. I don't get the impression he does. I think it's kind of lame that like everyone's kind of falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. The fact that like all of this bullying between each other has been encouraged is really, really depressing to me, honestly. But hey, have fun, boys. You know, you're gonna get a lot of views over it, so go do your thing. I guess. Can you get 3-bet here? Not stoked on calling any offsuit hands ever, but this is one of the few that we do call, especially in position. Agree, so you need to focus on the poker because we can certainly, with your skills, grind up the ladder, but it takes focus. You can't be everything to everyone. You do you. Exactly. Exactly. Just because he checks doesn't mean he doesn't have it. It also could mean that he has 10s and jacks. I think I'm just gonna check this down, keep the pot small more than anything else. Because I think getting check raised here would be like a total and absolute nightmare. How often is this ace king and aces? And how often is this jacks? I don't know. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know if it's often enough. We're giving a super good price. I think he blocks jacks and 10s enough that I can call this, but don't be surprised when he shows me ace jack or aces. Ace 3. Wow. Okay. If you're ever in Port Alberni, message me and let's go kayaking in Sprout Lake. I'll meet you there with my brand new kayaks. I have 3. Or anywhere else in Vancouver Island. Name the lake and day and I'll be there. No offense, but I don't know you. You could be taking me out on a kayak to the middle of the lake so you can drown me. I have no idea, but I appreciate the offer. Got the double gutty. When I was 10, I watched a movie in the theater called Sidekicks with Chuck Norris. Changed my life. Changed your life. A Chuck Norris movie changed your life? Jesus. Maybe you need to rethink your life priorities then. I don't know, man. Call 1. Why not? That's not a 5. However, we got a lot of 4s in our range. We could go for a nice little block. Obviously, I'd fold to a shove. He's got enough bluffs. I'll just fold out here, which is always nice. He might still just call it down, being cautious of the 4. I think I need to bluff here because we can get him to fold out some 10x and pocket 9s and all the ace highs and whatnot. This is probably one of the few rivers that are actually reasonable for me to bluff, so I'm going to go for it. Of course, he's going to show me aces sometimes, but that's fine. I think my line's totally cool, but yeah, he's going to show me aces sometimes. But he's also just going to fold out flush draws, and he's going to fold out weak 10s, and he's going to fold out, like I said, pocket 9s. We're just worried about jacks plus. That's it. I like my line. It just sucks that we ran into it this time. And you have to think about the fact that like I smashed that board. I certainly smashed that river. So like when I do have it and I get paid, oh my God, it's a sweet, sweet payday, dude. If they play as high as 200, 400, Doug has the opportunity to possibly make 1 million plus. Pretty sure he isn't rich enough to pass up that much EV. I mean, if that were the case, he probably would still be playing now. His whole thing was like that he was really not into playing poker anymore. He was really not into grinding all those high rollers and the 100Ks and the 1 mils and all that stuff. He just wasn't into it anymore. I don't know if I really agree with that. So I see bet in early position, hit a fun turn. Just got to protect our hand from queen jack suited and get value from king jack, ace queen, ace 10. Of course, ace jack sucks, but wow. I can't believe I actually have to fold this. He doesn't do this with king jack. He doesn't do this with ace queen. That's not what I wanted to see. I know I'm supposed to call here. I just don't think the population shoves loose enough. Like I'd be very surprised to see like ace x of diamonds here. People are just going to call. I can't believe I'm going to fold this. Wow, gross. Gross. What do you guys think? Reasonable laydown? I'm sure there's a few people in there who aren't going to be happy with that fold. Ooh, that's nice. So I could have still played this after all. Beautiful. What does that put us up to? Top 10? Puts us up to 4th. All right. I've seen kings a lot at this tournament. It's nice. I've gotten paid with them quite a lot too. It's a good flop for him. Beautiful. Not beautiful. Super lame, actually. I just have a couple big blinds more. Oh boy, that's not good. Ooh, it's better than I thought. Just have to fade the jack, the ace, the king. Nice. And looks like we're about to knock Jamie Staples out. I won't slow roll him this time. Nice. We hold true with the aces. Very nice. I was worried about this. It is very close, but I think this is probably my worst call. This guy's a reg too, Canadian. I think this is probably my worst call here. Hold, please. Hold. Nice. We hit our chips back from him. Beautiful. Oh, that's so nice, dude. You have no idea. To redeem myself like that. Well, that's fun. $15 in bounties, please. It's probably a fold without bounties, to be quite honest. But that's fun. Hold. You dirty dog. That's a queen, right? Okay, we're good. I had to process that for a second. Oh my god, I love winning these types of bounties. Free rolling, baby. Free rolling. Easy game. Oh, and we're first place too. Sick. So, any topic you're working on currently, poker-wise? This week the focus has been on my cutoff versus small blind play. So I'm working on that. There's a lot of spots like playing in position versus openers who check to you. Been trying to work on that a lot more. Trying to work on my turn and river probes a lot more. Been trying to work on 3-betting and 4-betting a bit more. Been trying to work on my squeezes a bit more. Check raising, just being overall like more aggressive, been a really, really big priority for me because I'm certainly not aggressive enough. Most people aren't aggressive enough. Yeah, players just in general aren't bluff heavy enough, aren't thin enough, aren't c-betting wide enough, aren't 3-betting wide enough, aren't check raising wide enough. It's a lot of like very passive play, a lot of very much just playing your hand, not so much playing the man or playing your range or playing your position. I'm victim to it. Recreationals are victim to it. Good regulars are victim to it. Almost all the streamers on the Twitch poker platform are victim to it. We're all victim to it. So I'm just trying to loosen up a little bit, you know, care a little bit less about the outcome and more about the long-term plus EV play. Never folding here, even to a reshove. Big spot. Even for 10 bigs, this is a big spot. Hold, please. Hold. Boom. Really, really big. Really, really big. All right, so I open, then I see bet really small. He check raises me. I call. No spade on the river, please. Can't believe I'm actually going to end up folding this. That's an absolute shame, dude. Okay, maybe we can get a few chips back here. Hold, please. Come on. Boom. Dude, what a roller coaster this whole game has been. Insane. Pure insanity, dude. Pure insanity. Too much. So where are we from? Middle position. It's close. Barely. I think it's probably fine. Well, there's 2 shorties. Weren't going to call crazy late. Yeah, you know, I shouldn't mind it. And we're going to be out of this pretty quick. Right quick, boys. It's a big GG. Ran into the top of it. It's a shame. This is like the 4th time I've hit final 20 in this tournament in the last 2 or 3 weeks. That's how much I've been crushing this tournament. Wow. Okay. Actually won that. Yikes. Big GG. The gods just give us all that hope like that, huh? Well, $500. It's not bad.